Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome back over to GPVWC Racing Action. After a long 18-day break, we're finally back here after the conclusion of the Super League over in Indianapolis. We stay over in the North American continent as we hailed upwards over to Montreal, and it is raining, folks, indeed. Plays host to Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. It is also one of the few street circuits that these FS2 drivers here will conquer as well. 15 minutes of qualifying will come ahead of us, and just to keep in mind of how the championship fight is looking for, it's about a 6-point gap between the place in third place in Sandeep Singh and Junio Lopez, the current championship leader, and Casper Curtis, he himself is also just about 2 points away off from that lead as well. Join along with the rest of the field, Omari Watson himself has got 118 points to get himself just a fairly comfortable fourth place though, but that could change in an instant. Ben Skinner also falling over with fifth, with James Knox in sixth, and Magnus Oggenhag with seventh, and Dominic Scarpelli eighth, with Thijs Youngster ninth, and Brody Lawless also rounding up the top 10. Very competitive it looks to seem, and with this rain that we're seeing here in qualifying, it could put a spanner into the works for what could be potentially smooth sailing here in Montreal, and could maybe potentially bring in a few upsets. As it used to say here, rain is the great equalizer. Most of these drivers here during that 2-week break also will not have been practicing as well, so not often at times would these drivers be practicing under these wet conditions. So it really gets to see how critical thinking comes in here at this decisive moment here in Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. I do really like Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve though myself. It is currently me, however, at the moment. Toby Davis will be joining in fairly soon. He's just running a little bit late as it stands. But me personally though, I've always been a huge fan of this circuit, really. It's one of the few tracks that I feel, in my opinion, that you could really make an overtake through pretty much nearly all of the track, actually. And we could probably see here through this stacked 25-car grid that it'll probably definitely be the case, as we see Alfie Denley now. He's going to try to start a flying lap, though, and has a collision through the walls. And I think that might not be too much there with the suspension. You're going to see a lot of people going to be running into the walls because you really have to alter that racing line and just try to see which one has less standing water, and as well to garner the most amount of grip as possible. So that's also going to be very interesting here as we ride on board with Denley as well. Looking for the first sector though, it's 28.1, so that's fairly decent as it stands for the moment, especially given that he is one of the first cars out on track as well, as he just rides up on him a little bit too much on the curb, but a slight wobble there, but he manages to compose himself and keep it in, so that is very good driving there from him. And we're going to come over here to one of the most important overtaking zones here throughout the entire track here, turn 10. The hairpin also seems to be very dangerous as well, coming from another long straight heading out of turn 9, and important to get this exit fairly right as well, because this is the Casino Straight, actually one of the longest straights it's actually the longest straight here in Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. And then afterwards it's coming through the infamous final two corners here of turns 12 and turns 13, the Wall of Champions, also known as the Quebec Wall. A lies wait for the drivers here, but Alfie Denley is actually coming to the pits because I think it looks to be the sky's starting to dry out, if I can see just right ahead. And there we go, he's going to put a time on the table. 3/10 faster than championship leader Lopez though for Lawless. Really impressive though from Brody, so that has been incredibly remarkable here, and only just within 4 minutes as well. It's a very competitive lap time, I'll say. Magnus Oggenhag, he displaces Lopez for second as well, so that's fairly good for him. But wow, that's a 3/10 in such drastic conditions. That's I'm honestly really impressed here. Also on the outside, Lopez, Sotero for the Patina Grand Prix. I think he's in place for the others ones. He's in fourth. Hakimi for RGS in fifth. Skinner sixth. Van de Smissen in seventh. Tumala in eighth. And Sandeep Singh, he's got the championship in looks in the hands in ninth. And Sawinski, the Priority 1 esports driver, over in 10th. Looking with Christian Glumston now. 3 green sectors, but all the best that he can manage for the Orbit driver is 17th. And slowly the time is ticking down as we're just going to slowly approach to under 10 minutes left to go. And after which what comes ahead is 18 minutes of the race, of course. So 18 minutes of the sprint race, and then 18 minutes of for race 1, and then 18 minutes 18 laps of race 2 as well. So this is going to dictate the starting order for race 1, and then of course it's the roulette of the 15 to determine who's going to be out on for that starting order as well. Kurt Werthoff exiting out through turn 10 for Extreme Motorsports. Done pretty well so far, both the team and the driver itself. it's been fairly okay. So it's coming out for here. He's going to try and see if he can make any improvement here. He's running dropping a bit because he's one of the last few drivers actually at the moment to set a lap time. I do apologize. It was actually 30 cars in the grid, not 25. Apologies for the time on the screen there, and just gets a little bit there on the wall, but he just keeps it nice and composed. But surely it should be enough to climb up a few positions here with those green sectors. It does, and he breaks himself up into the top 10 echelon, along with his teammate James Knox as well. So that's 8th and 10th for Extreme Motorsports, so that's fairly decent there from them. And then we're just under 10 minutes now, and Toby Davis, I believe, has joined alongside me. Hello, Toby.
Hello, mate. I'm so sorry. Have you told them why I was away?
No, I have not, but you can go ahead and tell them.
I mean, I had literally an emergency toilet leak in my room. I've just run up my stairs, out of breath. Massive apologies. This is what happens when you own your own house. You have to do all your own stuff unless you want to pay for someone to do it. So, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Looks about as wet on my bathroom floor as it does on track right now. Nice to see. Nice to see Brody Lawless at the top, isn't it, Amir?
Yeah, it is. And the most important thing as well is that he's 3/10 faster than Oakenhag, which I think is really is an impressive. So it must show that the whatever Lawless line Brody was doing, it was really impressive. So, because no one else can ever match him, and we're nearly halfway through.
Yeah, and it's just depends on whether the conditions improve or whether it stays very, very wet. It doesn't appear like it's raining anymore from the monitor that I can see, and if that's the case, then time should start to improve.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think it might be in Lawless's best favor, though. I'm not entirely sure, though, if it does stop raining, if the track's going to dry quick enough to people to set a lap time, but maybe an intermediate time could be enough to displace Lawless from provisional pole position. As you see here with Alfie Denley, who's his teammate here, just navigating through those final two corners. You can just see how much he's sliding through and how much you may want to just avoid the apex just a little bit, or at least put it in a little bit to your favor, as I think it's going to be an improvement for Alfie. It is just about enough, but it's still 20 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of the split times as well. There are a lot of greens, as in purple, personal best sectors, lighting up the race view timesheet. So Okanau, for example, has gone very, very quickly in the first sector, as has Sandeep Singh, who we're watching now. So it is possible that the conditions will improve. There is only the wet tyre in Formula Sprint 2. It's that or the slick, so it's kind of... it does appear to be raining again now. So maybe these laps here are the crux of the qualifying.
I think they definitely will be, and if that's going to be the case, then I think Lawless would be very happy with that. But now that gap is closed down a bit, with Magnus improving to about now just only a 10.5 away now to try and match Birdie now. As we look over with Sandeep Singh, as mentioned before, he is one of the championship contenders here, and his main goal now is to just outplace his championship contenders to try and get a very good position here for race one. Oh, look at that, just all in, nearly hitting the wall of champions, actually, as he's going to come across the line. Yaffin Clapperbuck improves up into second, and Sandeep Singh himself improves, but it's only fourth, but it might be enough.
Out to the top. Yes, a purple middle sector, exactly what I was saying. The conditions were on their best on that lap, and the Hunter Birch simulation driver taking pole currently. Can anyone else improve on that? That's the big question. Alfie Denley has done 2 green sectors. Victor Burnett has done a purple final sector. Tuamala's on a lap now, coming across the start-finish line. Can he improve his position? No, he can't. And the deluge continues. It is raining cats and dogs out there.
It sure is now, and it's now slowly coming up to about a third left of the qualifying remaining, so we're going to see a lot of cars out on track as well. Might get a little bit busy, but it's going to all the glory and the interest here of this Formula Sprint 2 qualifying session here. It's got pretty much on par next to, how do you say, the most unique racing in the world, I'd say.
The most varying... Well, I know. The most varying as well in terms of what you're going to expect from each round. Sometimes it's like this. It's deluge of rain. Sometimes it's someone who's a little bit lower down, pipping everyone else to pole, like is what's happened today with Ockenhaug. Interesting to see, as you say, the championship sort of contenders, Junior Lopez, Sandeep Singh, 7th and 9th only for them. And they would have hoped to have done a little bit better if they could. Kurt Rotiav as well. P11. He's added an E to his name because it's an umlaut, A-E-R-V, so it should be like a umlaut, so keep an eye on him. Van der Smissen has done a purple first sector as well, but I think the conditions are worsening. Ockenhaug on his latest lap significantly down on what was his pole or provisional pole time, but Klaffenberg, he won on the road at Jeddah, ended up being put back a few places due to a drive-through penalty he had removed. Christos Philo as well has had very, very good pace this season. Can he improve his position? He comes across the line now, still 22nd position, so it's not there for Philo. The times are very tight though. The top 16, or in fact the top 17 within a second. Kanaya coming through the final chicane here, very big slide and coming towards the line. The Freccianera driver, can he improve his position? Don't think so. Crosses the line. The times are worsening, definitely, Amir.
Yeah, I think it is. I think maybe that was the glimmer of luck Ockenhaug has dealt his card to get himself pole position. I think it might stand unless we can see the rain maybe drying up a little bit. It still looks to be raining, and I think it's still somewhat getting worse now. Kafelbach, he himself is going to have one last attempt for pole position. I think he's going to hope for it to dry up a little bit, but to be honest, Davis, I think this is probably the best the conditions are going to get here.
Yeah, it certainly looks like, I think, well, you say that, but it almost looks a bit sunny now suddenly, and the rain certainly has stopped. We've got and
ooh. Yeah, I think Toby might have a bit of connection issues. We apologise for that, the audience, but I think now Julian Kaffenberg is now going to go for one final lap now. Just under 3 minutes left to go. Just having a look through here for the weather forecast here that I have open. I believe it should be starting to clear up just a little bit, reducing that down to 20% chance of rain. Look at how much the track surface is drying out, actually.
yeah, it quite literally looks like it's drying by the second. I don't know exactly what's happening with my internet. I apologise for that. But yes, it's literally improving by the second. And can it get just about dry enough for these guys to improve their lap times? That's the key.
Absolutely. Desperation is coming in here for... I think everyone has now known that because the track is drying out, everyone's going to come out here. I think everyone bar 5 cars on the garage now are all out to try and start a lap, I believe. And I think the RGS Racing of Julian will definitely be trying to do that now as he just makes a little bit of a mistake, but tries to keep it on track. I think that's his time invalidated, actually, as he's slowing down. I think that's his best chance of it gone now, but we look here with Justin Van der Smissen. Purple for the first sector.
Van der Smissen, he knows I spoke with him in the spring break and did a little interview with him. He knows he can do better in this car, and this team can improve too. A purple first sector, he has done that before. He's still on target to match pole position. That would be by far and away his best session. There are green sectors being set elsewhere as well. Singh has done a green sector in the middle sector for him as the rain appears to start again. So it's off on this weather. Can Van der Smissen time this? Can he nail that final chicane and put himself at least in the top 10?
Have to see now, just the final 2 quarters now, all the more important to make those and make it stick now. Heading out for the final sector, it's very clean out through the final quarter now. It's a mash dash to the finish now for Van der Smissen. Can he snatch it? He cannot, but it's only good enough for 5th for the VMS Sun Edits driver, but he'll still be pretty happy with that. Magnus Ockenhaug, meanwhile, he's prepared for the second sector. If he can pull it through for the final sector, it might be an even bigger improvement and too much for Lawless to catch.
Ockenhaug flying down the back straight then. He set a purple middle sector, but 2 tenths off in the first. Is it going to stay just that little bit drier through the final chicane for him? Can he keep it tidy on the exit? No wheel spin. Good job by Magnus Ockenhaug. Coming towards the line then. Those that can do, those that can't talk about it. Apparently, he comes across the line, doesn't improve his time. Still pole position, though, for Ockenhaug.
Sitters up at the second. He's only 600ths off.
He is. He's so close, Glamsetter. Didn't quite get there. Sandeep Singh, though, is matching the pole time right now. He might have a chance as he comes down the back straight. Will have to throw everything at the chicane. This you think would be his last opportunity with the rain coming down. He might just cross the line in time, but I don't think he will, actually. I think time's going to run out for Singh. So this is all about, can Singh nail the final chicane? He's going to bounce across the curbs and throw everything at it. In we go. Nails the first part, nails the second part, all the way to the wall. Stays to the right-hand side of the track for the shortest possible line. The checker flag comes out. Can he set pole? Fifth.
Go! Oh, wow. Oh, and he threw everything that he possibly can. Van der Smissen, meanwhile, out through the final quarter now. Is he going to be able to match? I think he's fastest for the second sector. And no, it is also fifth for Van der Smissen as well. He displaces Sandeep Singh of that position. And wow. It was close, but not close enough. Andrea Kinalia coming out for the final sector. Meanwhile, can he notch any improvements? No, he cannot. It is a second slower for the Scuderia Ferrocarril driver. And so you can see that Aukenhag, I think he's pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, have got this pole position more or less done. Yeah, because Lawless has already crossed the line. No improvement, therefore. No, he has improved. He got himself up into third. But Aukenhag... Wow, that was an incredible, great luck there for him, but also like a phenomenal display here on the wets from him. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with a pole position here.
Yeah, he will. And the best thing about that was that he nailed it right at the kind of golden window for the weather, where the rain just sort of staved off for a couple of minutes, and he nailed that lap, and it was so critical to do so. And as you can see from some of the other drivers, you know, Sandeep Singh in 6th place, Junior Lopez in 11th, for example. He's been great this season so far. So it's definitely shaken the order up, hasn't it, Amir?
It sure has. A lot of people here can grab a hefty amount of points here in Montreal, and this rain has certainly turned their drivers on their heads now. And the only thing that's about to wait and see now is to see who can capitalize that and turn it into points here. But with Magnus Aukenhag, meanwhile, he'll be very happy with that as he claims a pole position here for Montreal, and as such, he'll be starting on row at first place actually for race 1.
He will. I'm just waiting for everyone to... I think for Kuinov somehow is continuing to do laps, but I think that is everyone done in this session, so we can have a little look at the results now. So, as you say, Aukenhag, P1 for Hunter Birch. What a result for Ed Hunter's team. Christian Glamsetter, P2. Brody Lawless, as you say, P3. Julian Klaffenberg in P4 with Justin Van Smissen, his best qualifying of the season, in 5th place. Sandeep Singh in 6th position with James Knox 7th. Craig Patterson, now driving for Hut Performance Engineering, in 8th. Mika Hakimi for RGS in 9th position with Oscar Soltero debuting for Potentia in 10th place. 11th goes to Junior Lopez with Yunus Kerala 12th. Kurt Rotjav in 13th with Tormala in 14th. Kanaya in 15th. Ben Skinner 16th. Teammate to Aukenhag, Joe Gillette, is only in 17th position. So it wasn't just, you know, it's not like it was setup related. It was just nailing the lap in that golden window. Bakunov 18th place. Chavinsky 19th. David De Vree rounding out the top 20. Behind them is Osama Kanani for Blue Horns. Victor Banat in 22nd. Alex Day and Sergei Soroka, both for Academy, both, I believe, debuting in Formula Sprint 2, 23rd and 4th. Christos Filo, 25th. He'll be disappointed with that. Diogo Moscato for Team RNG, again coming into the series in 26th place. Alfie Denley, 27th. Kaylin Penny, 28th. Nahila Vicentievich, 29th. And Charlotte Mennick in 30th position.
Just looking here for the weather forecast here to see how the race might pan out. I think it looks as it stands here, according to the forecast, it's looking to be a 5% chance of rain for the race, but that can really drastically change here. It's expecting rain now, and then expects to be clouds then throughout the rest of the race. So definitely drivers need to keep their eyes out on that circumstance. But well, the practice is currently ongoing here as we await for race 1. We can just discuss about a lot of things, Toby. What would you like to discuss about?
Firstly, I need to say I'm very sorry for not being here for the start of today. That was very, very unfortunate timing, but yes, I still haven't completely fixed the issue. I now have a very wet kitchen as well as a wet bathroom, according to Tash, so yes, not ideal. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. But yeah, this is what happens. I say this is what happens when you have your own house. You sort of have to fix things there and then, and not ideal. But nevertheless, I am here now, and we're enjoying some more rain. I think it's going to dry going to dry up over the next 10 minutes or so, and I think there's going to be. It won't be dry for the start of the race, but I think there's going to be some people gambling on going to slicks further back for race 1, and potentially we could see some very, very quick lap times coming through. It's quite a slow pit stop in Formula Sprint 2, but this is a short pit lane, and from my point of view, I think it's worth someone, as soon as it starts drying out, gambling on those slicks and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I think especially for the people down in 20th, that gamble seems to be more warranted as well. But I think we'll also see a bit of front runners maybe doing that too. But not all of the teams will probably do it. I reckon like the lower position teams might, or driver on that team would probably more or less go for it. But I don't know. Looking for the forecast here, it seems to be looking on the radar, there's a heavy patch of rain that's going to be unkind, but then it's a short window because I can see that it's only not very big. It's only up until for people that are live in Canada, up into Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport, I believe. So it's not very short. As well, it's not actually not very long. In fact, it's only half the distance between Pierre Elliott Trudeau and I think that is, I don't know what airport that is. Maribel Airport, I believe. Oh no, Maribel's in Laval. Sorry. Shoot.
Pass. You know more than me about aviation here.
For people in Canada, the rain forecast is from Côte Saint-Luc to Chambly. All right, that's all I can say.
Well, it wasn't. That's not how it's pronounced. For sure.
Come on.
That was somewhat an Irish interpretation, I think, probably that one.
Oh, how dare you! Come on.
I've actually got coordinates for the track, and I've just banged that into tomorrow.io, which is actually what we use for the weather, the live weather. So yeah, it's saying sort of the next 5 minutes heavy rain for sure, like heavy rain, and then it's not necessarily going to stay that way. I think it's then dry for the next 2 hours. So at least race 2 I think should be slicks easily. It's just whether it clears up in race 1.
If you view on the radar, you can sort of see what I'm going for, because it is not very. That window of rain is not very long, and I think whenever your case of it might drought, it may dry out at the end of race 1, or if so, then I think it will only just rain for race 1 and then be completely dry for race 2. I think that's what my interpretation of Montreal, Quebec weather is.
Yeah, the track itself is a man-made island, sort of now northeast, south. It's one direction, but it's not actually in the actual city. It's part of the man-made islands they made. I think it was the rowing event for like an Olympic thing. They built it around that maybe. So I think the center of the track. I don't know if there's a camera angle for it, Fabian, that shows the center of the track, but it's all like a rowing basin in the middle. It's basically just a thin strip of land around it. So, but they did introduce a load of wildlife and trees and all the rest of it, which is why sometimes you get the odd gopher running across the track. It's a pretty cool place, somewhere I'd definitely like to go. But they are kind of limited with what they can do track layout wise, and even though it has changed a bit over the years, especially down the back straight, there used to be a very nasty chicane down the back straight that they had to fix after 1994. But yeah, it's a cool little place, and on my list of places to go, although I don't fancy trying to remember my GCSE French, to be honest.
If I've actually been.
You've actually been? Have you what, am I right? Is it like rowing stuff in the middle?
I'm not entirely sure. I think you're saying that because of what was it? They had an event in 2017 in F1 where they had the mechanics, I think, making or going on a raft and trying to reach a finish line, I believe. I believe it's around there. We'll definitely do it GPVWC someday in the future, I guess, for GPVWC Day, I guess. Maybe if there's a river in the city that we're at, we'll do that as well. But
I need to find it. I need to find this island. in
I do actually like Montreal. I think it's Parc
Notre Dame.
Parc Jean Drapeau is the location that's in. But outside of F1 and other racing series, I've actually been here. They've divided the track into 3 sections. So there's one which is a walking path, one which is a cycle path, and if I'm not mistaken, one for roller skates.
Nice. Another bit of roller skating. Yeah, yeah, so there's like a lake in the middle of the island, but then just next to the back straight is indeed the like rowing basin. I don't know what it's called. Olympic Basin, it says on Google Maps. There's also a service pavilion. I don't know what that means either. But yeah, it's a cool little man-made island. There's one next to it called St. Helens Island, and I assume, based on the fact that there's more lakes and other bits and pieces, they did some more Olympic-y things there. Cool.
Olympic-y things.
Let me have a look. When was the Montreal Olympics?
1986? No, 1976.
76, indeed, yes. So,
Rowing and canoeing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And fire. So, this was... Yeah. Oh, hello. The overrun of cost was 720%. They managed to spend... Yeah, they managed to spend 720% of their budget.
Yeah, that's just... But we did that to create the greatest Olympics that's ever seen.
I don't know. Do you think this is the greatest Olympics ever in Montreal?
Did you see how the opening ceremony went?
I wasn't around in 1976, I'm not gonna lie.
There was like an Olympic torch. You know how they always do the Olympic torch ceremony?
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, this was the Olympics where whenever they like release a set of birds, some of them were sitting on the torch, and then
the Olympic torch.
Yes, and this was just before they put the flame on, and then those poor birds were on there. So all the people in the Olympic Stadium had to watch innocent birds being cooked to death.
I love that that's your takeaway from the opening ceremony.
That's why it's the greatest Olympics of all time. When was the last time you've ever seen birds being cooked live on television? I rest my case.
I mean, I've seen Love Island. Does that count?
Can't have it, Toby.
Anyway, welcome to FS2, Amir. Yes,
Thanks.
the rain is still coming down, by the way. So it doesn't seem to be. Although, it's now gone to like very high rain for 2 minutes. So I think it's going to be no rain from the start of the race. I don't know if it's going to dry up in time. It's definitely going to be dry lines by the end of the race. But yes, it's very, very, very heavy. You can see all the wet puddles and stuff that R Factor 2 does quite nicely. Actually, I like the graphics on the rain in R Factor 2.
That's where my forecast says light fog.
Yeah,
It says light fog.
My brain in the
We're
morning.
having 2 weather forecasts here, or is it not in Circuit de Villeneuve?
That's
in Montreal.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
it's
the
not
song?
the same, is it? You've got it. It's quite big. It's like saying it's raining in London. It's massive.
London. God damn it.
You need the bit. You need the bit where the race is happening, as opposed to Montreal general.
Yeah, this is not the Prix. I know.
Which airport were you using?
I was not using any airport. I just had the city on it, but I can't really like Quebec. If I just put Quebec, would that help?
Quebec? That's like the whole state.
No, it's not the forecast for Quebec. If I exit out, I'll find it.
It goes all the way up. It goes all the way up to like the Arctic Circle, mind.
What's forecast are you using? Like, what's your town?
Tomorrow, what's the town? I've got the coordinates for the track plugged into tomorrow.io.
Didn't know that's possible. You cheater.
I mean, you know.
Oh god.
Yeah, apparently now it's going to be light rain for Yeah, the next 5 minutes. Okay, let's see what happens. I mean, ultimately, I'm not a weather person. I am just a late commentator today, I suppose. Not, well, a late commentator would infer that I'm no longer existing, but I
Oh yeah, they have Montreal, but they don't have Montreal, but they don't have Circuit de Villeneuve. What the hell?
I mean, I'm sure it's fine.
The race there instead. Better track.
We should be racing in Europe by now, shouldn't we? I don't understand how it drags on so long that we're still not in Europe yet, even though they kind of... I mean, we're soon to be. Next round is Silverstone, one of my favourite tracks in the whole world.
You have a favourite track?
Yeah. Silverstone, probably. Well, I don't know, actually. It's hard to say. Of ones that I've raced at, Spa's the best one. But then, like, so's Cadwell Park. It's really good.
And what now? Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah,
that just
one.
for motorcycles, though?
No, I used to race supercars. So, did Cadwell Park in the supercar.
Right, okay.
Which is pretty good. Anyway, we've waffled long enough. I don't understand why warm-up's still going on, to be honest. It's been checkered flag for at least 5 minutes, I reckon. Brody Lawless,
warming
by the
up
way.
the tires.
Brody Lawless, by the way, has topped the timesheets in warm-up. Sandeep Singh at P2. So yeah, the sort of usual names that you expect right at the top there, which is fun. I lied, by the way. There isn't. I think Vicentijevic. If we can just skip to him, please, Mr. Cameraman. Can we have a look at what? Can we have a look at what Halo Vicentijevic? Can we just have a look at see what tires he has on currently? 23rd.
There we go. I've got the island.
Yeah, I think he attempted slicks just now. Looking at race view, I'm not confident 100% in my analysis there, but anyway, it's all irrelevant now.
Inaccurate analysis from GPVWC. I could never.
Now the question is, I mean, it's not a very big question. I think everyone will be on the wet tires as we go onto the grid. But the question is, what does the weather look like now we've skipped through to the race session? And
it looks to be to rain a bit and then dry off, but I think it's rained for just 5 minutes and then it's going to be cloudy all the way through. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like from Notre Dame Island forecast, which is the closest to the track.
That is the track. Yeah, literally is. So
there we go.
I think hands on your wheel, Mr. Glamsetter. Or turn your force feedback down. One of the two.
I think he's just warming up his arms.
We're about to get underway for formation lap. I'll let you take us through the grid, Amir.
Oh, geez, okay. Oh, boy.
You'll be fine. Just read the names as they look.
Usually I take a while to make a spreadsheet with them, but I didn't do it this time. But anyways, for the 18-lap race, it is Magnus Okenhag, which is a phenomenal lap for himself. Will get himself up into pole position now and starts the race with Christian Glamsetter in second for Orbit. Brody Loss is in third with Sandeep Singh over in fourth for Pontiac Grand Prix. Then outside of that, we've got James Knox for fifth for Excelling with Craig Patterson in sixth. Mika Hakimi in seventh with Oscar Salatra in eighth with Junio Lopez, championship leader. He's now in ninth with Jonas Carola. That completes row 5. Kurt Rotyov in 11th with Mikael Tumala in 12th. Julian Kaffenbach in 13th. Ben Skinner completes row 7. Joe Gillette in 15th with Bobby Vankunov for row 8. Philip Sunitsky with David DeVry for row 9. Andrea Kinalia P19, Osman Kanani in row 10. That completes. And then outside of the top 20, we've got Victor Bernat. He himself was in 22nd with Alex Day 22nd, Sergei Soroka, his debut alongside Day in 23rd, with Christos Vilo in 24th. And along with that, Yogo Moscato for 25th, and Alfie Denley for row 13. And then afterwards, that is Caitlin Penny in 27th. Medjajo Vinicic in 28th.
Vicentijevic, very good up to
Vicentijevic, thank you. And then Charlotte Medic in 29th, and Justin Van der Smissen in 30th. I usually make a spreadsheet.
No stress, sorry, mate. Justin Van der Smissen. What happened to him? Penalty. I completely forgot. Yeah, he had a penalty, so starts from the back of the field, which is absolutely gutting when he was P5 on the qualifying timesheets. So yes, Van der Smissen back of the grid.
You hyped him up for nothing.
I know. I didn't get. I'm so sorry. I had my hand down my toilet, so I couldn't. Couldn't prep as much as I would have liked, and that's something I missed. I do apologise. Everyone, we got excited about Van der Smissen. Well, I mean, clearly he has the pace. Let's see what he does coming through the pack. Look how many cars there are. It's so nice to have 15 full teams in a series, to be honest with you.
I feel like this is the most underprepared at commentary we've ever been in the history of GPVWC.
Oh no, there's been worse, trust me.
Literally, someone's hand has just been in the toilet and the other one doesn't know what the weather forecast is. We got no chance.
Here we go. Ockenhaug is, well, we're looking at the lights from here. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aus, long time on the lights, but Ockenhaug gets away well. In fact, he's going to lead easily as they get to turn 1. Glamsetter not quite as good as Getaway, and Singh trying to go around the outside of the pair as they head into turn 2. On the outside, though, Brody Lawless side by side with Sandeep Singh, and in fact, he gets a better exit. Can he steal that position back as they come into the right-left chicane? And he does so. Well done to Brody Lawless for hanging on to that. Sandeep Singh knowing that it's more about the championship at this point and backing out nicely. Yunus Kerala then bumping over the curbs. They've got a bit of a gap forming. The spray is so bad as they head towards the left-right chicane, and there appears to be a little bit of a slow up as we get there, but everyone getting through cleanly so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm more impressed that there hasn't been any major collisions that we've seen so far here. With all the spray, the low visibility, and everyone all conjured up now. And also, Montreal's also not one of the widest tracks in the world as well. So the fact everyone's kept this clean for so long is really impressive here. I look for the second sector, look at how all these cars are going wheel to wheel. But once again, all clean. And we can see here from Tumala's rearview mirror, everyone goes through nice and cleanly. Impressive.
Yeah, it's not over yet, lap 1. We've got the hairpin to navigate now as Tuamala gets a little tap from behind, saves it, and I think they both get away with that. It was one of the priority ones. I assume Kerala, as he was next to him on the track. We're watching the other one, Chavinsky here, who's just that little bit further back in P17. But yeah, Tuamala very, very lucky to get away with that one.
Oh, someone's off! We've got someone off in the back.
It's one of the Academy cars. There's going to be a huge contact here. Alex Day involved. There's one of the Venus Motorsports cars that's Menning, unfortunately. Yeah. We'll have to grab a replay of that momentarily. But first, it's Ockenhaug leading from Lawless as they complete lap 1. And he did exactly all he needs to do. And he has a nice, clear view in front of him. And that is crucial in a wet race.
We were talking about the hype of Van der Smissen after starting in the back row, but look at him, he's gained 10 places within lap 1. And now we can see it going side by side between Lawless and Ockenhaug meanwhile, and Lawless just goes ahead like nobody's business and heads for second sector. Whoa, that was close.
It was. Ockenhaug thought about sending it down the inside into the chicane, but yeah, sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. And he did do that. He backed out and thought about the overall race. He knows he's got pace based on qualifying. Can he get back by Lawless? But Lawless absolutely on a charge. He has been at moments this season and did it once again there. Ockenhaug then lining him up into the hairpin, thinking about it. There's another yellow flag in Sector 2, which worries me slightly. Vicentijevic then out, Menning out, and Day out. I assume those three were all caught up in the same incident, as now we head onto the long back straight. Lawless doing a little bit of slipstream braking. That's okay, as long as you don't do it too many times, and especially when a car is directly behind you to block them. But Ockenhaug has got a run. thinking about sending it down the inside. Lawless a little bit late on the brakes. He's going to be compromised as they come out of the final corner. Can Okenheim make it work? And in fact, Glamsetter had the best run of anyone, and Glamsetter looks like he's going to try and take the position from Okenheim as well.
Passes up too. Glamsetter's looking to take another position. Oh my god, and that was really close. Takes the outside line though. I think that will allow him to get just a little bit of a better exit in compared to Okenhag and go side by side. A little bit scrimmy though coming out the exit, and he concedes a bit down. Sandeep Singh trying to look for some points but can't really. He's just holding back now. I think everyone is just playing a very long game to see like who can make the move and make it stick. But so far as it stands, no one's trying to make it yet because no one's quite close enough. Sandeep trying to have a look for another move, but to no avail. So the waiting game starts.
Absolutely, and Singh has, he's playing that waiting game well in that position. He doesn't want to watch Lawless get too far ahead at this stage, but he isn't sending it down the inside and costing himself and others time. But yeah, I don't know if you've got that replay queued up from lap 1. I'd love to see exactly what happened on the back straight, because suddenly we saw Alex Day sideways and into the wall. And not ideal. Obviously took 2 drivers with him. So if we can ping that replay up, that'd be fantabulous. Let's see what happened. Fabian. Here we go. So lap 1. Here we go. So Alex Day then, right at the back of the pack. And there's Van der Smissen, look, in front of us. So what happens here? Oh, he gets a tap. Oh, that's not good. And how did he get a tap? Let's see which car it was. So it was an RNG. And unfortunately, when it sprays like this, you just can't see anything. And presumably Menink is just going to come straight to the scene of the accident with nowhere to go. But yeah, nothing at all that Charlotte can do, unfortunately. Vicentijevic also was out. So what happened to Vicentijevic? Let's see. As we head through the long right-hander. And... okay.
I think that's a hardware failure.
It looks that way to me.
Yeah. Damn, that's very unfortunate. It really, yeah, I think it was, because it doesn't seem to be anything else from the looks of things.
Now this is the yellow flag I was just talking. Yeah, this is the yellow flag I was talking about. So, just a little bit of side-by-side contact. Kanaya jumping across the grass and holding onto the position. So long as you do that and don't gain or lose a position, sorry, as long as you don't gain a position or not lose a position, then it's okay to do. It's ooh, hello.
Ooh.
And then finally we have a little bit of action coming into the final chicane. So we're going to watch what happened maybe here to Tuamala. I think just a little bit late on the brakes, jumps across the curbs. Same exact things. Again, as long as you don't gain too much time or lose a position, it's fine. And then this is Chavinsky just on the grass and choosing to go around the cones, which you don't need to do this season. And how many replays we got? last one. Sandeep Singh then. Running into the back of Glamsetter, presumably, yes. So, yeah.
Doesn't make the overtake, so it just stays behind, so that's going to be fine.
As Klaffenberg slides it down the inside of turn 1, and there was a car there. His name was Junior Lopez, Mr. Knox. You have to be a bit more careful than that, as Lopez is still side by side.
No, he's not.
Knox not wanting to give that position up, still not wanting to give this position up. Junior Lopez has been absolutely battered at various times this season, and Knox, for some reason, especially the first one, just turned straight into him. Side by side they still go, and Soltero is right there as well with them. Junior Lopez now has the inside for the chicane. Soltero, please don't take that 3 wides.
They're going to make a 3 wide, hey, for turn 8.
Yeah,
no, they're not.
Oh, Lopez! I have no idea how they all survived that, but Soltero didn't make any positions there, so it was very close.
With a sprinting. Oh my word! And that's Patterson. No, that's not Skinner on the outside, trying to make up for 8th place. Not quite making it, heading out for turn 10, and I think the Ponte driver was just going to be just about ahead. Wow, that was blimey hell, Toby. That was close.
It definitely was. And and Singh's on the grass as they get into the final chicane. Glam Setter on the outside, Singh using, I mean, more of the track? I don't know what you'd call that, really. Some grass. And there we go. Grass. So down the inside comes Klaffenberg as well, who has had exceptional pace so far in the race. And he's going down the outside. Can he make it around the outside of Singh? What a move from Klaffenberg down the inside into turn 2. This is going to enable Glamsetter to get the inside run on Sandeep Singh. And can he even get an overlap on Klaffenberg? I think he's still got one, but backs out wisely. Klaffenberg, sends it in. Klaffenberg's going to run out of rear tyres very quickly here. It has stopped raining. I don't think it's going to dry up by the end of the race. Glamsetter then coming back at Klaffenberg, who wisely defends sort of the middle of the track. And can Glamsetter get the switchback on the go here? He can. He's going to go down the inside into the chicane, Amir.
Oh my god, they're going side by side, heading between turn 7 and 8. 8's going to head up again. We've seen this beforehand. Sandeep Singh is going to definitely come and pick up the pieces whenever he can. And Glamsetter almost just got on the rear wing of Klaffenberg. Klaffenberg still holds on into third place though. Exciting racing, I must say. You've seen with Lillian though just how much he's done sliding and a half there to make those double overtake moves. He goes a bit deep heading into turn 10 as Mike can see the position over to Glamsetter. No, he doesn't. Keeps it in. And they're going to go wheel to wheel. A little bit of a collision here as they head through the Casino Straight now. Turns 12 awaits for them. Who's going to try and make an overtake? Was Christian going to be enough, or will Sandeep might be able to pick up the pieces again?
I feel like this is going to be a back out from Sandeep. It has to be there. Glamsetter on the outside. Klaffenberg's run him out of room. That is not what you want to do there. That's, Glamsetter doesn't need to go around the cones there. But, Klaffenberg didn't leave enough room there. And, not ideal at all from Julian. I presume he didn't know that there was an overlap.
Oh my god, that was so close. I thought he was going to...
Relax! We're only a third of the way through the first race. We've got a whole other one of these to go. It was one of those where Klaffenberg just didn't know that there was an overlap. But these guys need to read the briefing. Literally, Sandeep Singh released the briefing for all 4 series and said this year you do not need to go around the cones when you rejoin. So, and they're doing it, and they don't need to, and losing time as a consequence. Personally, I think that's a good change, and Sandeep himself said to me, and I don't mind saying this publicly, he won't mind me saying it publicly either, that the rejoin angle from those cones isn't great, and frankly, I agree.
I think they just like cones.
Maybe it's just a little bit of an extra layout to do, but look how much time they've lost to Ockenhaug and Lawless as a result of all that nonsense. 4 seconds is the gap between Ockenhaug and Klaffenberg now. No, it is not.
Nonsense,
it's 3.
Clinical display.
No, it is interval. Interval 5 now. I mean, yes, to the leader, it's... thank you. You changed it literally as I was I'm trying to work it out. Thank you very much, Fabian. Soltero, then, on his debut, slipstreaming down the back straight on the back of Glamsetter, who looked like he might be fighting for the lead at one point. Down the inside goes Junior Lopez. Oh, keep it out of the wall! Oh, he has done. The thing is...
positions, though, still holds it.
The thing is with Lopez is that he has had this problem this season where he just can't seem to put the whole race together. Gets involved in too many squabbles, Amir, and he needs to just try to be a bit calmer, I feel.
I think that's nonsense. Race how you want, Junio. Don't listen to Toby. Follow your heart.
Here comes Sandeep Singh on Klaffenberg then. Klaffenberg is pushing the limits of defensive driving here, I would say. But look at the heat on the rear brakes on Sandeep Singh's car as well. He must be running quite a rearward brake bias for that to show up like that. But Klaffenberg, he's the cork in the bottle, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I've just holding everyone up back a little bit as a result, but he definitely had the pace to be up there in the first place. I think for Singh's interest for the championship now, overtake is sure going to be very soon. It's looking through at turn 10, but not quite there, and you can see the pavilion. He breaks it on the apex because he knows that Singh would have had a better exit and then possibly, make a good overtake, but this would just push a deficit just a little bit, and then with Sandy be able to maybe go side by side, it's not going to be enough to make the move. Actually holds into the inside line now.
for the final two corners. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be the best of interest there for Haffenbug, but
Whoa.
look at how Sandeep throws the car through the final corner and now makes it move up into third. And Haffenbug is falling down drastically. He's lost 3 positions actually. And actually James Knox, meanwhile, has the better exit because he didn't need to go a little bit off settle through the final corner. Makes the move before it even happens, I think. And that is going to cement the Englishman up into third.
Yeah, he picked up the pieces nicely, got a really good run as Singh and Klaffenberg were compromised. And to be honest with you, I feel like Singh had kind of had enough at that point. And yeah, normally the inside driver into the final chicane there has to back out. You can't really go side by side in that final chicane. Or it's curtains. But in this case, they managed it. But as a result, both of them, I mean, Singh is as he was. It's just a different car in front of him now. But Klaffenberg certainly lost out as a result of trying to go side by side through that chicane. So not ideal. Brodie Lawless is absolutely smashing the field right now.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I think talking about masterclass of performances though, Lawless with the early qualifying that he had, and then Alkenhag as well with his positioning on the qualifying. Both of them are really extraordinary for how much they fasted here.
Sorry.
So close. So close.
He sent it down the inside of 2 drivers there and got side by side with Singh again. And this is not over, this battle. Absolutely not. He's almost pushing him down the back straight. He is pushing him. I mean, that is a brave move to do that, considering how wet it is and how temperamental these cars can be with any kind of contact. And Klaffenberg does get a nice exit, but didn't go for the overtake. He decided to bump Trav Singh. I haven't seen that in Formula Sprint 2 for a long time. Here comes Soltero. Go on.
Toby.
That's fine, I'll carry on. Soltero then, on debut for Potentia. He is doing a pretty good job actually in P8. This field is not weak by any stretch of the imagination. And with Skinner and Glamsetter in his sights now, was bang into the wall. I think that was Craig Patterson in the Hut Performance engineering car.
Yes.
With a yellow flag. We've lost someone down the field. I think Soroka is losing time. Burnett and Soroka both out. So, yeah, there must have been some contact between those two, I would say. I'm sure friendly cameraman Fabian Jungbluth will show us momentarily, but we need to take a breather. It's only just gone over halfway. This is going to take ages tonight.
With the rain. Probably will, but have to see for here. I think this is Moscato. David Van der Vrie and Moscato. Not enough room given to Diogo, and he has gone off.
David de Vrie.
And here was
David
the
de
crash
Vrie.
between Burnett.
Yeah, David de Vrie turned into him there a little bit. This is the, as you say, this is the contact. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Was it Perez that did that in F1 a few years ago, right?
Massa Perez 2014 Canadian Grand Prix moment.
Yeah. Right in the end of that tyre barrier, which is not a tyre barrier really in R Factor 2. It just feels like a solid wall. I thought the game had glitched then, but it's just a carbon copy of what was happening between 2 teammates further in front. Soltero and Skinner and Glamsetter and Singh both making side-by-side moves into turn 1. Klaffenberg is ahead of Singh, so we've missed whatever happened there. James Knox firmly in P3. They're 9 seconds off the lead now, so I think it's first and second is, barring any issues, set. And there is now, I would say, a dry line forming here. It's going to be dry for race 2, but probably wet off line. But there is no more rain forecast now, so yeah, definitely the track conditions improving. You can see the last lap from Brodie Lawless was the fastest lap of the race at 36.1. Keep an eye on those times. Look, it's literally is drying in that where the cars are running. So yeah, keep an eye on the race 2 tyre selection. I think it will have to be slicks by then.
Yeah, I think it will be as well. I don't see any other rain for the rest of the time period, so I think that will probably there might be no, there's not going to be sun. But see you here with Oscar. I think might make the move on. Skinner does it even before the final 2 corners even. And that's a really good overtake for the Pontiac Grand Prix driver. Pushes himself up into 7th. Again, as you mentioned before, Toby, on his debut. Very remarkable. Having to defend, though, from Ben, really on the edge. And almost 2 wheels in the grass there from Ben, but might be just about enough. Ooh, that was really close. I think Oscar himself just a little bit gets about ahead out of turn 3. But I think that comes for the inside line, which will allow for Ben to be able to maybe capitalize if he gets a good enough exit. A little bit push onto the wall, but he's still fine as it looks to things. And then Oscar just a bit ahead now and holds on to 7th. Really good there. Oh.
This is welcome to Formula Sprint 2, Amir. This is going to be slick conditions by the end of the race. There will be someone who does it just for funsies. It's drying quickly, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
And, with no rain and 24 cars, we've lost 6 by the way. But yeah, 24 cars out there drying up the track. There's no way it's going to be slicks. Pitting for slicks will be faster, but that literally looks like almost dry track right now. So yeah, keep an eye on that. You said someone is on slicks. The voice in our ear, Fabian Jungbluth. Alfie Denley has gone on to slicks. That is a couple of laps too early, probably. But we'll keep a very close eye on his lap times. He had pretty much nothing to lose there. As Hakimi then, we're watching alongside him, is 2 mile behind
another one
him
in the pits
now.
as well.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough time made up, to be honest with you. It's not like he's setting purple sectors right now, Alfie Denley. But it's close. It's close to those changeover conditions. Unfortunately, the race isn't going to be long enough.
Yeah. I think as well, in changing to the dries as well in this case means that you have got no choice but to always stick to the race line in minuscule perfection, which I think is pretty incapable for human minds for us to comprehend.
Well,
so
certainly in Formula Sprint 2.
I meant like humans in general. You could even put the F1 esports to go on an Alfie Denley strategy and say, right, put on purple times in these conditions. They wouldn't be able to do it either.
No, but they're more likely. They're more likely than this lot. Bless them.
Toby, you're meant to advertise this league, not disencourage it.
Oh, it's great fun. Are you having fun?
I am having fun. I think
Here comes Sandeep Singh, but this is the problem. So the problem is now is that the dry line is so good, or dryer line is so good that anyone who tries to overtake now will have much worse braking performance. So it's gonna make everyone stick, as you say, stick to that drier line, which is in a lap's time going to be dry, by the way.
Even
Slicks might not.
Well,
yes,
so...
Slicks might be a good shout actually. Brody Lawless sets a PB, a fastest lap of the race, 35.2. I guess it's both. And let's keep an eye on those sector splits for Alfie Denley then. He is not improving right now. Claffenberg then still being a pain for Sandeep Singh. It's been like this for most of the race, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing up a good showing indeed. And I think the good thing with Denley, though, is that as the track gets a bit drier, I think it also provides a good info for Lawless, for himself, or if it is worth it to maybe go into that selects or not as well, himself as well. So I think that's also a key mention to have for both teammates there. But this fight between 3rd and 6th, what we can see there, Klaffenbach himself has got hit the wall. Not sure if there's much suspension damage hanging from that incident coming out of turn 7, but still holds it in, and still if Sandeep Singh holds it back from Glamsitter though, as he hits the wall as well.
There's 4 laps left after this one. The pit lane delta is probably around 20 seconds in this league. So you'd have to be 5 seconds a lap quicker. I don't think, considering that Denley has just completed his lap and did a 140.4 when the leaders are doing 35s, I don't see it, personally. I don't know what a good, amazing dry time is in Formula Sprint 2 here, but it's going to be... maybe 10 seconds faster, and it would have to be completely dry for that to be the case, as they are all struggling. Sandeep Singh surely this time is going to get by Klaffenberg. Klaffenbach is giving him no room at all.
It's not gonna make it easy.
He's racing so hard. It's unbelievable.
He's not gonna make
Klaffenbach
it easy.
literally holding him to the inside there. I'd be pretty grumpy if I was Sandeep Singh at this point, to be fair.
Yeah. I think anyone would, but Klaffenbach is certainly trying to give him a run for as money as he possibly can. And I don't know how many laps I've been counting how long that Klaffenbach has gone sideways, nearly hitting the wall with Sandeep. But it has been quite a lot, though. A good, healthy majority of the race, shall we say, that those two have been drilling it out inwards, outwards, and sideways. As you can, I think Klaffenbach has hit the wall a bit too many times because he is starting to struggle quite a lot. And I think Glamsetter is now going to be in the next on the positions he might lose. Still sideways. How is he keeping it? Yeah, he hits the wall again. Oh.
I think I called it earlier in the race. He seems to have burnt those rear tyres quite heavily. He was very, very sideways quite often earlier in this race.
Yeah.
So, not ideal. Denley's times are coming down. He's pretty much matching now. I mean, he's just at 38, so he's only a couple of seconds off. It wasn't soon enough, unfortunately, for Slicks. And with only 3 laps left after this, I don't see anyone gambling for those slick tyres and making it work. Klaffenbach again. Yeah, again, Singh had room, or rather, Singh was alongside and deserved more room than he got there. I'd love to see that one back if we can, Fabian, because that's once again, I feel like Klaffenbach has done this multiple times and just hasn't quite left enough room coming into that final chicane. It's been more than once for sure. And that time Singh was fully there, and I don't think Klaffenbach left him enough room in my opinion. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like at this point Singh must be pretty frustrated with how this race has gone.
Viable racing room through those final 2 corners. It does not include the curb. It's sausage curb. It unsettles the car fairly easily. And I think that's where Klaffenbach has always been trying to push Sandy more or less into that area. And whether you characterize that a racing room or not, it's I don't know, entirely up for debate. But to be honest, Toby, with what we've seen before, I do somewhat agree with you. It's been very on the edge, but there's sometimes that the edge has gone a bit too much as Glamsetter heads down for the inside of turn 10, almost taking Klaffenbach with it, and there's a collision between Singh and Glamsetter.
You could just tell from Singh's body language he's frustrated. He needs to be careful. There's a championship on the line here. He's in P6, well ahead of Junior Lopez. It's just be calm. Like, at this point, just be calm. Just because someone's wound you up doesn't mean you start like bashing into the back of other drivers and so on. He's missed his braking zone there. He's going to lose out to his teammate potentially. It's just keep your head calm. It's definitely Klaffenbach's wound him up for sure, but at this point, you've got to look at the bigger picture.
Well, a good points haul as well for the championship as well. He's going to head into the next race, I believe, as the, if I'm not mistaken, championship leader for race 2 with this points haul, I think.
Oh wow, you're going to make me do maths, aren't you?
He's 6 points away, and that's Glamsetter hitting the wall. He's 6 points away from Junio Lopez, and Junio Lopez is 12th, and he is 6th. So yes, I think he is.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, reverse grid's 10th to 15th. So, as well, it could even be possible that Junio Lopez isn't in that reverse grid flip as well. It could be, P11 or P10 gets that reverse grid. So, yeah, it's bigger picture stuff. You've got to think like that. In terms of how are we doing on slick tires now is we're much closer. Klaffenbach, Klaffenbach runs very, very deep once again, almost like he's waiting for another go with Sandeep Singh. I don't think that's the case.
Oh, come on, Toby. It's not nefarious at this rate. Come on.
I didn't say almost like. But anyway, so and he's in the wall again. Here comes Glamsetter, and he's squeezed him to the pit wall. Klaffenbach, my friend. I'm not a fan of what he's doing at all. It's right on the edge all the time. It's not fun. I don't want to keep going on about it, but he's literally run into the wall and then to the grass on the outside. I mean, it's not like he's not even in the chat. He's done a couple of rounds, you know. There's no championship going on here. Relax.
It's a good points haul though, 4th place, and very valuable points for RGS. So it makes sense why you want to defend that at all costs. And you can see in here, Glamsitter and Skinner completes a Orbit Pontiac Grand Prix sandwich with Glamsitter, Singh, Alterato, and Skinner. So whether they make any valuable positions change in this final lap and a half, I have to say. But I think Lawless is slowly going to come across the line through the final sector.
Yeah, he's literally on the back straight now. Brody Lawless from Mapesflow. He's been unbelievable this race, as has Okanaug. They have a 14-second gap to James Knox in P3. So congratulations, Brody Lawless. He hasn't always had the cleanest record at GPVWC, but today, so far, has been pretty flawless. He crosses the line, and Brody takes victory in race 1, followed by Okanaug. Now, what's happening down the back straight? That's what I want to know. As we head into the final chicane, it's going to be Claffenberg who takes it from James Knox. So, on the road, at least, Claffenberg is going to take that position, although it's going to be side-by-side across the line, but no, it is Claffenberg who takes P3 from Knox, Glamsetter, Singh, Soltero, Skinner, Hakimi. Tuamala is coming through in P10 now. 11th goes to Rotyav. 12th for Vakuinov. 13th place then for championship leader for this round, Junior Lopez, who is going to concede that to Singh for sure. And rounding out the points, Craig Patterson, and 15th, Chervinsky, who we didn't see very much of. But yeah, it's going to be a reverse grid from 10th to 15th. One of those positions will be reverse grid poll, drawn by lottery. But these are the results then, Amir. I'll give you the honour of doing this, and I'll do the formation lap next time.
I like how you said Brody Lawless was flawless, because he was indeed flawless. Brody Lawless, he himself catches a race win for race 1 here in Montreal. Phenomenal from him, and Magnus Okanaug also similar phenomenal display for 2nd. Julian Kaffenbug fends off from Sandeep Singh, Knox and Co. to fend off for 3rd, with James Knox for Exilian, good performance from him. Christian Glamsitter, best he can manage is 5th, good for him, with Sandeep Singh over in 6th. Teammate for the debut, Oscar Saltero in 7th, Ben Skinner, the 2nd of the Orbit Motorsport drivers, in 8th, and Mika Hakimi, RGS Racing, is in 9th, with Mikhail Tumala in 10th for Skiduya Camp Clay. Outside of the top 10, Kurt Rotav for 11th, with Bobby Vagunov for 12th. Junio Lopez, championship leader, is now Sandeep Singh for 13th. Craig Patterson for 14th, and Philip Cernitsky completes the podium scores in race 1 in 14th and 15th. Osana Kanini, 16th for the Tunisian, with Andre Quinalia in 17th for the Italian. Justin Van der Smissen, good performance from him, started 30th, he's now 18th. Joe Gillette in 19th, with Jonas Carola, the Priority 1 esports driver, in 20th. Outside of the top 20, David DeVry in 21st, with Christos Vilo in 22nd. Caitlin Penny is the last of the finishers in 23rd. Alfie Dunley, Diego Mascaro, Soroka Bernat, Mihail, and Charlotte Menig and Alex Day are the people that did not finish for race 1. 30 cars done that have completed race 1, and as such we expect another race 2 to come up fairly shortly as well, another 18 laps similar to that. And as you mentioned before, Toby, 10 to 15 is going to be a lottery to determine who will score pole position.
It sure is, and a lottery that we know won't be P11 because it just never is. So we'll see what happens right after this short break. Welcome back to what is almost dry at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal, Canada. The weather apparently is fair. I don't think it's been anything like fair, to be honest. Been pretty unfair with the rain coming down so far. But this will enable everyone to kind of the reset of this will enable everyone to bolt on a dry setup if they choose. There is no more rain on the radar, Amir. And yeah, for me, it'll be very interesting to see what happens over the next 18 laps.
Indeed, we have seen what was the dominance from Brody Lawless and Magnus Ockenharg for P1 and P2, how they were absolutely flying away from the field. So you see a bit of a collision there in the warm-up. But now we've mentioned before that what rain was once the great equalizer has now all been gone. So that means everyone has to be going on to their dry setups, which if I suspect everyone was pretty much practicing for dry environmental conditions. As slowly the time is ticking down for the end of the warm-up session though. But as we've mentioned before, a lot of exciting racing here for 18 laps in the dry. And, you know, what we could see for people that can dominate in one race, there could be a completely different story in race 2 as well.
Yeah, I can see some some stories being made. People still out there on wets, definitely not wets now. Some stories being made in the second race here. Depends entirely on. Well, we just don't know. We haven't seen in a live session what the dry pace is for everyone. They've all been on wet tyres for all of the sessions that we've watched so far. So yeah, it's a bit of an unknown. We're all going into the race with a bit of an unknown. So yeah, hard to pick a winner. But what I can do is reveal. We don't. Oh, well, I'd say that we don't know yet what the reverse grid is. People are just guessing in the broadcast chat. Unfortunately, waiting for Chris Williamson to tell us.
What do you think it'll be?
Well, it won't be P11. It never has been. For about 2 years, it's not been P11.
Fair enough.
If it was, which it won't be, but if it was, it would be Kurt Rotiab on pole, and Junior Lopez would miss out. So Junior must be over for 13th, 14th, or 15th here. Give him a chance to recover some of those points he's lost in race 1. But this is the problem. You've got to just like put yourself into the top 10 to guarantee to be somewhere in the mix, which is what Sandeep, for example, Sandeep Singh has done. So if it ends up being 10th reversed, he'll be P5 on the grid.
Yes.
You sound like you had a mouthful or something there.
You know, whenever there's times like, I don't know how to say it. You want to reaffirm something, but you don't know what else to add. That's my reaffirming.
If I feel like that, I just go, well, yeah. Anyway.
That's just...
And make another point.
That's fair.
Yeah, good point. So, let's look at Brodie Lawless. I mean, that's what Alex does to me anyway, normally, on Tuesday nights. I waffle for about 20 seconds, goes, absolutely. And then here's Craig Patterson rotating 720 degrees. Is this Patterson? Or is...
Thank you, Craig.
It's Bobby Bakunov, yeah. I was going to say, the helmet doesn't look very Patterson. I know what he's like. He's... Can we have a look at... Has Patterson got a helmet on in the car this time around?
No, he's got his head off.
He's got to find him now on the list. Yeah, and then try... Here we go. Yeah, he's got the... What is that?
Stars.
Who's normally in that car? My mind has gone blank. No idea. Oh, Johannes Leppert.
It says Joe.
Yeah, Johannes Leppert is normally in that car. So that's Leppert's car. Some funny... Go on. What are you saying, Fabian? Oh my goodness. Oh.
That is a scary face. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Who was it before that had like a monkey in the helmet before? And it was It was a Romanian chap in. Blimey, what's his name? No, I'm gonna have to. This is really irritating. Hang on. It's important. Waffle away. I'm gonna find out.
Oh god. Did you know that 99% of gamblers quit before their big win?
Yeah. Accurate.
Very, very accurate. That's why all of the members around my current club gamble. Because they're addicted to it. They're addicted to winning big.
Gambling is a terrible idea.
Advertisement for gambling.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
You know what would be worse if we oh god, if we start our own gambling series for this.
Yeah, that would be worse, and it's not going to happen. For sure.
Imagine being sponsored by Paddy Power, and they'll just show which one has more likelihood of winning. Like, how often do you think that what's his name, Klaffenberg, will defend from Sandeep Singh?
Is it Darius Andre? Is that who I'm thinking of? Because I knew his name off by someone will tell me in YouTube chat. Darius Andre, yes, thank you, Owen. I knew I'd get there eventually, with some help from my YouTube friends. Alex Lahoo says my sink is leaking a bit. Not what you want to hear. Not what a doctor wants to hear when you go there.
Rain in Montreal is brought to you by Toby Davis's sink. Or toilet. Is it toilet or the sink?
Yes. Now, you see, there is no rain now on the radar. The track is completely bone dry, apart from a couple of little slippy bits probably under the bridges. I'm excited for a nice dry race. Probably end up in more carnage. Oh, we didn't actually tell you what the reverse grid was, I don't think. But it was P12, so Lopez misses out.
Damn it.
And Bakunov on pole. I'll get Alex to update his spreadsheet next time. It'll be fun. So yeah, Vakuinov on pole, Kurt Rodyov, Tuamala, Hakimi, Skinner, some fast drivers there. And Brody Lawless all the way down in 12th. We don't know what the relative dry pace is, so I couldn't predict a winner. But if I did, gun to my head, if I had to pick one, surely it's Rotiav's time.
Yes.
What do you think, Amir?
5-10 seconds quicker than what we've seen before, maybe more, I think, but it depends on like how quick the track dries, though, is my best guess. And obviously as the track continues to go on for the laps, it'll get quicker over then. I'll let you do through the run through of today's field for race 2.
Well, thank you. On pole,
You're welcome.
courtesy of P12 being reversed is Bobby Bakuinov, Kurt Rotiav, second place. Row 2 is Mikhail Tuamala and Mika Hikimi for RGS. Row 3 is Ben Skinner for Orbit Motorsports with Oscar Soltero in P6, Sandeep Singh and Christian Glamsetter on row 4. Row 5, James Knox for Excellion in 9th, Julian Klaffenberg behind him. Magnus Ockenhaug and Brody Lawless are race 1 winner. Our race 1 winner, that's hard to say, in 12th place. Junior Lopez, 13th position with Craig Patterson behind him in 14th. Chavinsky in 15th, Osama Kanani in 16th place. 17th goes to Andrea Kanaya with Justin Vanderschmissen in 18th place, slowly making his way through the field in race 1. Joe Gillette 19th with Eunice Corrala, 20th position. David DeFree 21st, Krista Spilo 22nd, 23rd Caitlin Penny and Alfie Denley was the last finisher, I believe, in race 1 in 24th. Behind them there was the DNFs of Sergei Soroka, Victor Banat, Mihaela Vicentievic, Charlotte Menink, and finally Alfie Day. Alfie Day? Alex Day. Why did I say Alfie Day? Who are we missing? Who wasn't tipped up?
What's his name?
I don't think that's his name.
No, Alex Day is the one.
Alex Day's here.
Oh my god, what's his name? I've had a brain fart.
Do you know what? I don't think Charlotte Menick's here. Is she?
She is.
Oh yeah, 28. A problem that doesn't matter right now. As the lights come on, there are 2 of them. Now there are 3, then 4, now 5. Now there aren't any. And that was a very close to a jump start, but not from Tuamala. What a getaway he's had. He's going to challenge into turn 1, trying to go round the outside of Vakunov, who covers him off nicely. But a great start for Tuamala. Around the outside here, we've got Soltero, and I think Singh's lost a place to Glamsetter straight away, although he's still side by side as they head down towards the first chicane at turn 3. Has to settle in behind. And Ockenhaug has already lost a couple of positions over that chicane, down to P13 once again. Kanani battling away here. Oh, and hits and stands into the back. Oh, and there's more contact. Oh dear, that was not good from Asma Kanani at all. He's lost his front wing as well, needs to get well out of the way of all of these drivers. He's going to have no grip at all as he breaks into the bridge for the right-left chicane. Does he know? Well, he does now because he's not in frame. Please rejoin sensibly. That was not a good look. Here is Hikimi, and that is going up the inside of Ben Skinner at the hairpin. And welcome to race 2 reverse grid. It's going to be chaos, Amir.
It was already chaos on lap 1, so it's just going to be a plethora of even more carnage now, as we see with Junior Lopez trying to take off for P10 now with Lawless on in front. Not maybe making a move, no, not quite, but I think under challenge now from Ockenhag. Just pushing up to the side, heading up for the final corner. I think everyone's got off their one piece. They have indeed. And that completes lap 1. Look up front though, 3 wide heading down for turn 1. Who will be coming up for up on top now? Is they gonna go sideways? Oh, someone's literally gone sideways. I think that was Ben Skinner. And it goes a little bit sideways again, but still just about holds on for 10th. I'm not sure if it's the racing line or what exactly in that case. But meanwhile, with Oscar Solatro, I think he's dropped a couple of positions. But Sandeep Singh, no, he's gaining positions that he so desperately needs to get himself up into 5th. And with Glamsetter now trying to navigate his way between Solatro and Lawless. Not quite to any avail. So Large is a little bit on the grass and has to concede maybe a position, maybe two, to the Oates Motorsport car. Actually, they're going to go 3 wide now, heading through turn 8. Oh boy, not too quite sure how this is going to figure out now. Going to be 2 now. And that's... Okay, it's all clear and through.
Kanani's been given a drive-through penalty for something. I assume track limits. And slamming into the back goes Junior Lopez. He cannot get it right this season. He just can't quite get his whole race together every single race. And once again, just not quite there racecraft-wise, and has to back out of that one, and it's just not going the way he wants to go. 3 wide down into the final chicane, and Solterra there, they're side by side.
Oh, no,
guys.
No.
Oh, it's a chaos.
No.
And there's multiple drivers. There's multiple drivers with missing wings here, including, by the looks of things, Van der Smissen involved. Yeah. Okay. Glamsetter's out. Not good. At all.
Oh my god.
Oh no, there's more! And that's a priority 1 in the wall, I think. I couldn't tell you who it is. There's more contact here, Alfie Denley. They're trying to get by Van der Smissen, who has no front wing. That's what's going on here. He's the cork in the bottle, and it's causing bottlenecks and multiple contact as an academy driver, one of the 2 academy drivers. Alex Day is battling away there with the Hunter Birch of Joe Gillette, who finally gets by Van der Smissen. A lot to unpack from that. And I think we need replays ASAP, please. Bitteschön.
Lap 2, lap 3, many laps. But let's see here from this.
Well, so 3 wide, Junior Lopez in the middle, doesn't back out, little bit of contact between all 3, gets slammed from behind. Please don't rejoin there. Good job. So Lopez slams into the wall for good measure. Yeah, so Lopez isn't going to score any points. Now, what on earth happened after? Because Lopez was right in the middle of those 3, right? So Joe Gillette was on the inside. Oh, this is from Van der Smissen, sorry. So round goes... Oh.
That's a log. That's him spinning off.
Who was that just launching it through the chicane in front of us? Was that the other VMS car?
I think no, it wasn't Lopez.
Right, let's have a look. So Glamsetter then on the inside slams into the side of the RGS car. I need to know who it was that just drove straight flat out through the chicane and gained about 5 spots, because that also wasn't great.
Well, it was carnage avoidance though. If you see carnage ahead, it would make sense to avoid the racing surface though. So I can't really necessarily blame that person for going off track though.
No. This is Van der Smissen. It's the other VMS car, I think. Van der Smissen we've seen on board with. Is it a VMS car? No, it's an RNG car. So which RNG car is that? Go on, click around on the 2. You'll get there. I believe in you.
It's Philo. Oh.
Right.
I think, yeah. This is, I think this. So. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on full throttle. Absolutely full throttle, and just goes, nah, not having any of that. See you later.
No, Toby, you can't complain because he didn't use the cones. So therefore, it's
not
fine.
about that. You can't make time, though. I feel like that definitely saved him some time. Well, anyway, that's not for me to judge. I just thought it was fun. He just went, nope. And just floored the throttle.
You can't complain whenever someone uses the cones and then complain when someone does.
I'm not about the cones. I feel like, you just can't pump the throttle on. Oh, what's going on here? We've got Kurt Rotjav. Hello.
Oh, is that disconnection? Or no, it's not. It's...
Oh, the server's not having fun. Okay, we need to keep an eye on this. Hopefully, that's just brief. But yeah, Rochav there was in the middle of the chicane. As so Vagunov leads still. They must have been battling him and Rochav because Rochav now P4. Hakimi then is charging right behind Tuamala. Look, as we head towards the final chicane, is he going to make a move down the inside? Yes, he is, and through goes Hakimi past Tuamala. So up into P2 for RGS.
Still need to take a breather from what we've seen over the first 5 laps or so, but
Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me what happened to Sandeep Singh as well? By the way, so sorry, Amir.
He dropped his laces. Oh dear. That's unfortunate for the Indian, but I think he should still be fine in terms of his championship pursuits, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Junior Lopez is going 0 probably in this round. He might get a couple, I suppose, but
I was thinking about the person in second place in. Oh, Cortis is not here. Okay.
Yes.
So he's definitely
Koritz. Yeah, Koritz is not here.
Cortis. Yeah. It's amazing from that accident that we had in the final 2 corners. There was only. Oh, never mind. I thought there was. Okay.
There's a lot of DNFs.
There was a lot of DNFs. I thought, wow, only 2, and then it went to the other one. I was like, oh. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God. Yeah, a lot of DNFs. 5 DNFs already in the span of 5 laps now, and it's still only just what is it? Still got a couple more to go or so. But here we go to Mala is going to try and take second place away from Hakimi, or rather clinch it back from him as they head for the final 2 corners. Now Hakimi swings it around the outside to hold it and make it stick. I think Knox just overtakes Skinner for 6th. Change of positions there. Skinner's actually dropped down a couple of places now, and Rochav also going to be going a bit side by side with Tumala to no avail. Down to 4th he goes. Lawless himself sets the fastest lap though. That's really impressive, and he goes sideways.
And Skinner then here. Can he improve his position? He's shown pace this season. I think he's had 2 race wins this season so far, something that he's keen to remind me of all the time. So yeah, Ben Skinner has definitely got pace, but his race victories have been in race 2 reverse grid results. So let's see what he can do from here. We're watching along with him. Love to know what happened to Sandeep Singh, because he was like P5 at one point, so something must have happened. I mean, it wasn't near Klaffenberg, but he's next to each other on the grid. Now, Svilo, look, up 13 positions. He must have made about 7 in that nonsense at the final corner. That's got to be looked at from my point of view. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I don't know. Maybe might be a bit of leniency here in these circumstances, especially from if he was staying on the racing surface. It probably would have been not that ideal for Svilo, but you know, up into 9th though, I can understand why. As see with Sandeep Singh in the background though, trying to make an overtake on Svilo. Svilo gives a little bit of a nudge and says, no, you cannot pass there. 5 with 5 on 2 corners, and Svilo still holds on to P9 for the Team RNG team. And looking up front, the Finnish driver of Dumala is still trying to look ahead to Brody Lawless.
Brody Lawless, P4.
I know, right? It's pretty incredible. He's, as you said before, driving absolutely flawless display.
Yeah, he dominated race 1. Clearly has the pace in the dry as well. Not that far off the lead of the race, and we're only just about coming up to halfway as we head back and look at 20th and 21st. Battling away.
21st and 20th, I believe, of
yes.
Vintucic and Menik. Battling up for this.
Here we go. Ready? Vicentijevic.
No.
Vicentijevic. Give it a go.
Vinticevic.
Vicentijevic. It's the hardest one in the. It's very good. It's the hardest one in the whole career ladder, I reckon. Poor Mahilo. He's in this race still, so you have to say it again at some point.
Why can't you just crash out like in race 1? I have got nothing wrong with you, but just don't make my life harder.
Here comes Brody Lawless then, trying to make a move as Ben Skinner, oh no, gonna go around the outside. Oh, and makes it stick. Wow, what a move that was. And Christos Philo then trying to capitalise and does. Slots in front of Soltero, who loses 2 positions in the space of a corner. And, and here comes Lawless then down the inside of Kurt Rotiav. And, yeah, not able to get through. Still trying to...
Oh,
Brody. Still trying to make it work. You can't go side by side through the chicanes though, Amir. It's just deadly.
No, you absolutely can if you have enough grit and how do you say it? Confidence to do it. Don't be scared of the chicane. Make the chicane be scared of you. That's my saying in
Not good advice for Formula Sprint 2.
Well, that's what Jenson Button did in 2011, and that's how Sebastian Vettel spun in the final lap.
Slightly, I love Formula Sprint 2, but there's slightly different driving standards. As Brody goes
deep inside Kurt Rotiav. Doesn't quite work, and Rotiav still holds on to 3rd place, though. I must say, for the Sunny, he's done really well so far.
He nearly ended up in the water there. He was so deep on the brakes, but Lawless recovers and to fight another day. Behind them then, it's side by side between Tuamala and in fact he's been overtaken by James Knox already before they even get to the chicane. I think Tuamala probably left him room. Here comes once again Christos Philo and Soltero. Soltero's going to get a nice run out of the final corner there as Rotiav is behind Brody Lawless for Shawsies, and Lawless now sets about after Hakimi and Vakunov. He's 5 seconds off the lead as coming back at Sfilo is Soltero, but Sfilo round the outside hangs on to that position, and 8th is still belonging to the Team RNG driver.
Did Julian Kaffenbach recently retire?
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think he did.
Well, he's disappeared off the timing sheets.
I think it was a few laps ago. I think we've got another retirement on our hands.
Here we go, Fabian. What happened? Go. Okay.
It's a shame because it was...
Oh, he's already missing a wing. Oh, hello.
On the
Did you
grass,
know?
I think that's just a retirement. So we have to see how he lost his front wing, because he's just heading into the garage to retire, if I believe.
Yeah, but so what happened before that? Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Oh yes, this looks likely.
So it's coming out through turn... This is entering through turn 8 and 9. Does he just spin and just hits... Well, he's lost it, but he's fine. Yeah,
no,
he's
that's all fine.
That's all fine, so...
Yeah, don't worry. We'll move back to live action. That wasn't it.
He's... It's squirmy... Oh!
Sfilo sing!
What a job, what a cut through. Well done, Fabian. 5 stars there, you man.
We watched Kaffenberg go into the pit lane missing a front wing. What happened there? I need to see what happened there. Surely you got that one lined up, Fabian. Here we go. So let's find out. Oh, Singh is grumpy. He's been battered in both races. Here we go. So this is what happened then. They were going down towards the final chicane. Oh, hello. Ooh. So this is Soltero then down the inside of Sfilo. What is you doing? And he's still on full throttle there, by the way. Yeah.
He did it again.
That's not quite how the rejoin works. So that was the first one. Oh, he's he's lifted off. He's lifted off too much. And yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I think Sandeep should have realized that that was a position handed back to him, in my opinion, but I can completely understand the opportunistic move. I don't think there's like any grey rule written there, so it was opportunistic. It didn't quite work out. I think it was just a racing incident, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I have no clue. Ask Sandeep.
I feel like if you're letting someone back through, it's almost yeah, it's also to do so safely. And if you're then if you've let too much go and then suddenly there's a car alongside, you can't what I mean? You can't like
no,
suddenly.
you can't give it back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe this is why you're a racing driver. I'm not.
oh well, I've retired. I'm very old now, Amir.
Oh Jesus. Sorry about that.
I mean, comparatively to these
Comparatively to
youngsters.
who? The grid?
Yes, the average age of Formula Sprint 2 and the average mental age. Here comes then Sandeep Singh. Sandeep Singh is quite old as well. He won't mind me saying that. He's been around for, I mean, honestly, a long time.
And that's why he's in Formula Sprint 2.
Yes, he should really
Sandeep,
be in
it's
Super
a
League.
joke. I know you're making your return. I know. Don't worry. I know all about you.
Skinner down the inside of Tuamala. Tuamala either has very high wings, or is lifting off before that final chicane, because that's not the first time he's been overtaken very easily. Brody Lawless setting the fastest lap. What are his lap times? He's 4/10 faster than the leaders. He's got enough time, you know. He's got enough time to get onto the back of them and challenge for the victory. A clean sweep, a double win. I mean, we watched that happen last time out at Indy with Owen McGorgy, but that's a bit of an anomaly, to be honest with you. But yeah, because McGorgy is, race winner in Super League.
A race win's a race win. Just because someone's raced in the Super League doesn't, discredential it. Come on.
No, it's the. I mean, if in my opinion, shouldn't have been racing in Formula Sprint 2. Therefore, there should be a rule against that sort of thing, because it just, the whole point of the career ladder is that you move up through the leagues, right? And if you're in Super League and winning races, and then the next season you drop down to Formula Sprint 2, personally, I think that's a little bit too much. But there we go. That's my personal opinion from the last round. So yeah,
here we are, all Super League drivers. Please, for one race and one race only, all of you congregate together and fill in one race weekend in Formula Sprint 2, I beg. Please.
But all that happens is they'll just win both races. Here we go.
Exactly.
Svilo Singh, round 2.
Ooh,
Singh
not quite working out.
Yeah, but then
Banat's gone off as well.
Off goes Banat, indeed, yes. Can Singh make the move down into turn 1 this time round? No, he cannot.
No.
So Svilo holds on to P9. This is, in many ways, mitigating the damage for Junior Lopez, who's only 4.5 seconds off a point. I did say there's no way he was getting points. There's still a possibility, but it's quite a long way back.
Well, now there's no points.
Yeah, now there's a yellow flag, and Junior Lopez is out. So what's happened to Lopez? It must have been at the final chicane. I mean, these things happen. Commentators' curse, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, Wall of Champions. And yeah, too much damage to continue. I'd imagine the steering is about 45 degrees to the right at that point.
Oh, my word. Oh, God.
Not going well for Junior Lopez this season, I'm not going to lie. Oh, it didn't look that bad.
Blame Toby. It's not my fault, it's his fault. He said you didn't score points.
I mean, it didn't look that bad. The steering was relatively straight. He probably could have carried on there, but there we are. I'm not Junior Lopez. Here comes Soltero then on the back of Tuamala, and Tuamala, I'm sure, is running a high downforce setup, because every time people are just blowing by him down the straight. There's 3 wide further back, by the way, and it's now 2 wide. Singh and Svilo side by side. And this is going to give a huge run to Banat, isn't it? Are we going to see Victor Banat? Yes, we are.
Here we go.
Here we go. Down the inside of the Potentia driver. Not able to do so because of the slipstream Singh had off of Svilo. But that was very close to losing another position for Sandeep Singh. He does like going side by side into that final chicane. I would definitely not be doing that, but there we go. And Singh unable to make that move this time around. And it looks like Banat's got a nice car in the ring. Look at the front end bite on that. And he's gained some time here and Singh. Can he make the move into the chicane? Thinks about it. Ducks back out of it. And takes a little bit too much curb. You don't want to take quite that much. It shoves you back wide. And he's lost some time there. But, so yeah, it's all kind of settled down. If you look at the gaps, this is the closest battle on track right now. Lawless has been gaining, but not enough, I don't think, actually, to threaten the front two. Mika Hakimi and Bobby Vakuinov very settled into their positions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very dramatic race in all honesty with you, but it's very foretelling that the closest battle that we have on now on the field involves Sandeep Singh once again. He was involved in the close battle in race 1 and he's involved in the close battle in race 2. And, well, Chris Avila is not really making it easy, is he? He's really taking a page out of Kraftbalker's book to make an overtake per se. As now he's going to try again. Once again, looking down for the inside, I'm really surprised how easy Sandeep can control the car through the sausage curb and, you know, keep it straight. I think that's really impressive there from the Indian, but still, not quite making the move on Svilo. I think he has to try elsewhere.
Yeah, he definitely need. The problem with, I think, Sandeep Singh is running lower downforce and gets that huge run coming into the final chicane. It's sort of almost his only opportunity, I feel, because through here, Svilo's got him covered. I've been told off by Christian, who says it's Vicentievich. So I was telling you how to say it, and I got it wrong myself. It's not Vicentievich. It's Vicentievich. Thanks. Burst my bubble.
Thanks.
Burst my bubble. It's just, yeah. What you get in the Balkans, they all have complicated long names, do they? Here comes Singh then. Can he get by? No. Thinking about it. Trying the move. Late move. In fact, he's going to get a straight exit here. He's going to get a really nice run. Let's go on board. Let's see if we can go on board with Singh. What is he going to do here? As we come to the final chicane. Left or right?
Middle.
It's going to be left. Svilo edges him towards the edge of the track. And is he going to try around the outside? He brakes very late. Too late. Across the sausages. And he's going to lose that to Bernat. Here we go. And Bernat's going to go straight through down the outside. And this is the problem. Singh's got this problem. He's not quick enough elsewhere on the track to make the move.
Was there a nudge from Svilo's? Svilo's gone off, I think. Oh no, he's just off the grass, I think. But still holds. No, he's dropped off.
He has.
And that allows for Bernat into 9th. So he was off on the grass, and that has allowed for Sandeep to finally overtake Svilo now. And now he's just got Bernat on his front wing now to make an overtake for 9th. But I was wondering earlier back in the final 2 corners if Svilo gave a little bit of a nudge to Sandeep, which is why he went too deep. But, well, it's easier for Sandeep, though, because he's been trying to make that overtake for the past 3 laps. And now it's finally, has got it captivated. So now he's just looking for Bernat as he just goes a little bit on the grass himself as well. And that will last for Svilo. Talking about Svilo with the highest downforce setup now. This hairpin is going to be to the advantage of Svilo, because if he doesn't make this overtake, then he knows that Sandeep is going to pull away with it.
You know, way too much power on the exit of the hairpin there. But, yeah, we're coming into the final couple of laps here. And we've just lost Alex Day, unfortunately. He was in a points-paying position as well. And Hakimi setting the fastest lap of the race on the penultimate lap. That's an impressive lap time. Bakunov, in fact, is going to be under pressure from Hakimi if he's not careful down that back straight. This could be a grand slam finish, Amir.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to all accumulate down to this. Hakimi has been slowly catching up, but I wonder if it will be enough. Also, lap traffic ahead with Caitlin Penny, if that's going to be any effect to Vakunov to get a race win, I am not entirely sure, but we'll have to see as they approach through the second sector.
Only a few corners left then for Bobby Vakunov. He's gone too deep!
Oh, he's off! They both gone off! They both gone off! Oh my word, and this will allow for Hakimi now to go side by side now, heading for the hairpin now. Is going to be probably his best chance to ever get it now. Can he do it? No, he's not going to. He's just going to hold it off, and he breaks on the apex though, Vakunov. Oh, that's incredible. Through the casino straight they go. Hakimi will have the slipstream now. The final 2 corners is going to wait for him. Who's going to come out on top, Toby?
You think it's going to be Hakimi? He's got the run. They were both playing chicken at the final hairpin. He's got him. Through he goes. Vakunov is going to lose the race at the final corner. Here comes Hakimi. He's only got 2 corners left. Through he comes. Hakimi's going to take the victory for RGS. Vakunov has lost it. They were playing chicken at the hairpin. Hakimi had to lift off several times coming into the hairpin because he cut the chicane. And it's Hakimi who wins.
Absolutely incredible. And Sandy Singh is going to go side by side with Svilo, and Svilo has cleaned off once again to catch up 10th. He beats Sandeep Singh once again. Wow. That is incredible. Off to the line. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Outside for Singh, David DeVray is in 12th with Joe Gillette in 13th. And then Dre Canalia in 14th, and Canalia's hit the wall, and now allowed for Sergey Soroka to go a little bit across the line. He's going to get 14th for the GPVWC Academy car onto the line. He beats him to it, and that is incredible. Sergey Soroka on his FS2 debut gets points on race 2.
Do you know the gap at the line was 0.007?
Wow. 7 thousandths of a second.
Oh, what a finish. This was a crazy race. Absolutely crazy. We had everything in this one. And somehow Hakimi came through to win. Can we have a couple of little replays of that? I'd love to see the Hakimi and Svilo incidents on that final lap if we can, Fabian. Because Hakimi just played that to perfection. After they both cut the chicane, Hakimi was on and off the throttle down the next straight, so he didn't take advantage. And then we got to that hairpin, and they were both trying to get the best possible exit. And I think Vakuanov lost it there. He would have been better off just trying to get the fastest line through there, and he didn't do it.
I mean, that was probably one of the greatest Formula Sprint 2 finishes that we've ever seen here. Well, here, I'll have a look for the replay, though. We can see that Vakuanov is under pressure now. And see with Hakimi, though, it's how smooth he is going to try and make up all the deficit that he can, and then just look at this on board here. I think there's more tire wear up in front for the hot performance than there was for the RTS.
Yeah.
I think Hakimi was saving a lot more, and then was able to capitalize here for the final. And I think here that's where Bobby's realizes behind him. I think both of them got up into it. Both cut to the grass, but Hakimi saved it more.
Watch Hakimi's throttle trace here. Look in the bottom right, the green bar. He's lifting, trying to make sure he doesn't gain that advantage and potentially get penalised. And then they were both playing chicken. And that's crazy from Vakuanov, honestly. Get on with it, get on the throttle. And Hakimi just did him because he was so close. It wasn't about the exit in the end, it was just being close.
It was. And then there was a chance for Vakuanov to maybe get in, and if he just held in the slipstream. He did do it, but it was just too much of a deficit to be able to pull away for Vakuanov. And you can just see with the tyre wear that he can't clip those apexes enough, and the best that he can manage was second. But the fact that he made it that much difficult for Hakimi, though, from the hairpin and parked it a bit on the apex, allowed him to get just that little slimmer of chance, though, and I'm sure the Bulgarian would be very happy as well with his performance.
Absolutely. Now let's watch what happened to Svilo then, and down the back straight with Sandeep Singh. Hopefully we've got that one lined up, Mr. Cameraman.
Fabian.
So
this is the final lap. So this is how he got it back. Oh, they tagged. Did Svilo cut? No, he didn't.
Oh my days. Sandeep Singh's good. There's actually technically not a great deal wrong with that, but look at Singh's reaction. He is furious, and I think he's had a really difficult round overall. Sandeep, I feel for him, to be honest. There's been some absolute dribble.
In the inside of turn 2, there was car widths there. I don't think Sandeep was expecting to even make a move there, so I guess that makes sense. And I think just from here, I think Svilo has always been ahead, or did Sandeep make a overtake for turn 10? I wonder. So here's the final two corners. These two did a lot more perfect than first and second did. So there's Sandeep. He's got the slipstream now. Now, does he fend off from it? Yeah, he does. So he doesn't make the overtake.
No, but he's going to do exactly. Yeah, but he's going to do exactly what he did several laps in a row. Svilo, compared to Vakuanov versus Hakimi, the thing with Singh, right, is that he was unable multiple times to get by in this final chicane. It's like, wow.
Oh my god.
Oh
he's
no.
Barging with Svilo, and then I think Svilo just.
Can we go back a bit? Just go on board with Singh. I didn't like that from either of them, to be honest.
I think.
Oh, sorry, Fabian. Come on, we can do it. There's only. Is it this one? Is it this one?
Is it the wheel banging that you have a problem with?
Yeah, just go on board with Singh here. There's some.
Yeah.
There's some wheel banging. It's just not necessary. And then Sing's trying to send it around the outside. I mean,
And then,
if I could maybe just quickly look at that with Sphilo as well. We don't have to do this endlessly because we've got to do the results momentarily. But
and can we also see Kinalia versus what's his name? Soroka for the final as well.
yeah, they're both straight. It's just their lines are just converging. Okay, I wanted to see if there was any actual inputs from either of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so
I think that was just racing. To be fair, just a little bit last lappy. You wanted to what? Kanaya and who?
Soroka for the final, if possible. It doesn't need to be.
I don't think we've got time. We've got to do the results.
All right then.
Yeah, otherwise the session will go. Oh, okay. There we go. So, for the final time today, Mika Hakimi crosses the line in first place eventually from Vakuinov. Brody Lawless, what a round he's had. P3 for him. Kurt Rochiav and James Knox-Fritzelli in 4th and 5th. Oscar Soltero in 6th place. Ben Skinner 7th. Tourmala 8th. Victor Vanat 9th place. And Sphilo taking that 10th place from Sandeep Singh, who finished 11th. David DeFree at 12th. Joe Gillette 13th. Soroka pipping Kanaya to the line. I know you wanted to see that. Van der Smissen 16th. Vicentievich in 17th place. Osama Kanani in 18th. Penny and Menink, the Venus Motorsports duo, in 19th and 20th. And then DNFs for Alex Dane 21st, Junior Lopez 22nd, Klaffenberg 23rd, Alfie Denley 24th, Philip Javinski in 25th, Kerala, Okenhaug, Klamsetter, Patterson. I don't know why I'm reading the positions out because they didn't finish. There's a lot of DNFs this one. And that's the field because we were missing someone and we could never really work out who it was. But there we go. Plenty of people waiting for an interview. And yeah, a lot of people. Let's start with Mika Hakimi. Mika. Hello.
Hello.
Fantastic race.
Thank you.
Literally
crazy.
pipping Vakuinov right at the last.
Yeah, I only had one lap to do it because I didn't catch the stream until the final lap itself, so it was like, wow, fucking difficult.
Try to remember this is supposed to be a PG broadcast.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Sorry about that. But yes, it was all about, like, you sort of both cut the chicane, didn't you? And I could see you lifting off the throttle, trying not to gain an advantage. But then, like, Vakuinov was sort of playing chicken with you at the final corner as to who would get the better exit.
Yeah, that was the, like, you know, kind of like nerve-wracking part of the race a little bit because we went to that corner. I saw him slide under braking, so I kind of reacted to it. I didn't know to go left or right because as I was about to pick my turning point, he was, you know, kind of going sideways, full opposite lock already. So I was kind of reacting to it, and by trying to react to it, I kind of went off myself. And then, you know, he cut the corner a little bit, but I ended up cutting a little bit more than him because I was trying to avoid, you know, him in case he potentially slid off or spun or anything. So I felt like I gained an advantage by cutting a little bit more, so I lifted back off. But then he lifted off even more to try and let me by. So at that point, I realized I think he wanted to try and get the slipstream into the, you know, the back straight. So I just stayed behind him. He parked the car at the hairpin, which was a very smart thing to do, but I was expecting it, so I just stayed behind, got the slipstream, and got the move done into the last corner.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Honestly, I think it was a well sort of deserved victory in the end. You were very patient, and yeah, getting that position right at the last is great. So, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Who do you want, Amir?
Oh, interviews are never my strong suit, so I'll let you decide.
Okay, I think we'll bring in Brody. Brody, congratulations. Superb round overall, mate. I know you've had your ups and downs in GPVWC. Hopefully this is like the start of looking forwards and really being what'd you say?
Redemption arc?
Yeah, maybe you know, obviously it's as I say, it's been up and down for you, but performance wise tonight you were fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I thought I was going to be slow, to be honest. I was looking at the times in the practice server, and I was like, well, I'm done for. But it rained, and I was just quicker than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you were very, very quick in the dry as well in race 2 to get back up to P3. Really, really good stuff. How do you feel the championship can go for you from here? Because you're not too far behind overall.
Well, that's the aim, but it's like, I mean, obviously I did what I did in those 3 rounds, so it's not great, but it's catchable, you know, if I carry on driving like this. But it should be fine. It's catchable.
And like in regards to, because obviously we've swapped teams now as well, do you feel a bit more settled where you are now?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Well, I mean, certainly helped on track. So, yeah, well done, Brody. Excellent round for you. And hopefully we'll be speaking more next time.
Hopefully. Bye-bye.
Finally, do you know what? I think we should speak to Ed Hunter because Okinawa was very, very close. In fact, let's bring them both in. Let's do that. Magnus, I've brought yourself and obviously your team boss in. Very, very close to that victory in race 1. Brody just a little bit too fast, wasn't he?
Yeah, I realized after the race was finished that I had a bit too much wing than Brody. Like I think he told himself, like in the game chat, that he was running, was it 23, 21 links, while I was running like max wing and almost max rear wing to compensate for the wet weather. Obviously it helped in qualifying when you're all by yourself, but when you're racing, when there's slipstream like affecting other cars, like it wasn't the brightest of there. Like I still came home with a podium, but like I think like if I had changed my wings slightly, like it could maybe have a different outcome.
Yeah, and Ed, for you, must have been biting your nails all the way through that race.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was loving the fact that there was James Knox, Sandeep Singh, Julian Clappenbach all squabbling of each other for P3 because it just allowed, I wouldn't say to the pressure of Magnus because he was desperately trying to match the laps of Brody, and he did take fastest lap in the end, which even though we lost the win, we still got P2, which is brilliant, and we got fastest lap, which gives us a little tiny bragging rights. But Magnus was absolutely immense in qualifying. I was so proud to see him just pit that pole position, and he just seems to find that little edge in the wet, and it was beautiful to watch. So I had to thank him for that. Race 2 was a bit of a disaster, but less said the better about the free wide moment that I don't think Magnus really could have done much to avoid personally. But nonetheless, Joe still got home in P13 and banked a couple of points. So P2, P13, I think for Hunter Birch, we desperately wanted that first podium of the season, and it feels really good to get at, even if race 2 was a little bit messy. But nonetheless, I think a lot of positives from today.
Yeah, it was very a little bit of an understatement, to be honest. It was a bit of a crazy one, race 2. Yeah. Back to.
You have to commentate on these people as well, so it can't be too hard.
Oh, I don't care. That was one of the worst ones this season. It was overall a bit of a mess, but there was some good finishes right at the end, and of course, hopefully we get back to a decent standard next time out. Race 1 in the wet was certainly good, so. Hopefully we see that again in FS2. Magnus, next round is the UK, Silverstone. Is that a track that suits you?
It's usually driving-wise, I usually dislike driving the track because I find it too bumpy with the FS2 car and the track combo. But usually in the past, I usually been into the top 10, so I'm hoping to be around top 10, like hunting for top 5s and go from there. Like, unless it rains, I might go for another podium because I love driving the wet. So
yeah, no, hopefully that works out for you. And
shall we end on a bombshell, by the way, Toby? Do you want some hot information?
Sure. I mean, I've got a very quick question for you first. Joe Gillette was a little bit off pace today. Was there a plausible reason for that, or was it just one of those days where it just didn't quite click?
I think
because
Oh, go on, Magnus.
it started raining, you know, at the end of the practice, and I told him in the DMs that go with as high wing as possible because it will be worth it, and he did Argon say like he was happy with the current wing settings, what was meant for the dry. So basically the setup was not optimal, I think. Like I think if he had run like higher wings, he would have been higher up.
That makes sense. Go on, Ed. Then what's your bombshell, my friend?
Well, the bombshell for Silverstone is actually that Joe isn't going to be there for the race. He's going to have to give it a miss, and we've been organising a replacement in the background. So we've been talking to Craig Patterson, who's agreed to fill in for the race as a emergency driver. So yeah, we're looking forward to having Craig in the car. He was a little bit unlucky today for hot performance, but we hope when he puts the Underbirch blue and yellow on that he goes a bit better. We might have to get Doug Hilliard to hurriedly scrape together a Craigie Patterson name on the side of the car for it.
Yeah, and a helmet. You know what he's like. He'll want a Williams helmet.
Yes.
So
of course.
Yeah.
Good old Keke Rosberg or something like that.
Yeah, most likely, I would say. KK is a good shout.
I think we can start and call Craig the super sub because he's starting to drive for every single team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
the
supposed
experience makes him in demand.
supposed to have retired from the series, so
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
always says he want to do one more and one more, so I guess he never stops.
yeah, absolutely. Right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Toby.
Nice one. Right, Amir, thoughts?
It was a race. It was probably one
Yes,
of the
yes, that's the Alex Folks answer. Brilliant stuff. Today was one of the races of all time.
I mean, if you really want my like honest ones, I think it was probably one of the most hectic races that I've probably commentated in my fairly short career, but definitely in terms of the GPVWC races that I have. I've always watched these races, to be honest with you, and from a sprinter, I was like, man, would it be so cool to commentate on these one day? And I did. And I now take that off as one of my childhood dreams. So thank you very much, Toby, for the opportunity as well.
No,
and as well as one of my home circuits as well in Montreal. It was an absolute pleasure. And honestly, thank you to all the 30 drivers that have raced today. You've put on a clinical display. And what a way to kick on the return of racing here after our short spring break.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to be back and commentating on stuff once again. So, yeah, brilliant stuff. Thank you, Amir. You've been superb with every series you've super subbed so far this season. So thank you. And, yeah, I'm sure we'll see you back in the commentary booth at some point this season. Amir is our dedicated super sub at GPVWC. So, I think pretty much you've commentated on at least one series every round, it seems like, pretty much. So,
Super League.
yeah, good luck getting Caitlin and Ed out of those seats, to be fair.
I had a chance and I didn't because I had exams. So I think
Yeah,
that's
no.
chance.
Yeah, it's all good. You say one and only. It will happen again, but it's those two are. There's the kind of the part of the reason they're in Super League is because they're the kind of two of the most reliable ones. So, yeah, no, absolutely superb once again, and thank you for joining me. Thank you also to Fabian Jungbluth, who did a great job on the cameras once again, and Remco as well behind the scenes setting up the broadcast machine, or at least having a hand in that. I don't know which one of you did it for this round, to be fair, but he's not been
at the next races then.
He's not been very well recently. Yes, we'll have a very quick look. Next round is Silverstone. For us in 2 weeks' time. We've got obviously Thursday we've got Formula Sprint 1, Monday Academy, and Tuesday and Thursday will be Super Lights and Super League respectively, all here from the Circuit de Gilles de Villeneuve in Canada. Until those dates we will rest. So see you soon. Until then, goodbye all, and thank you, Amir.